Hey everybody, Marcos Villegas here with Brethren Schaub, and we're at the Staples Center where we saw one of the craziest events I've seen in person, this Mayweather versus McGregor press conference, the first stop happening here in Los Angeles. Brendan, you were up on the stage, you were working with Showtime. Yeah. What'd you make of the two face-offs that happened between Floyd and Conor?
I was a little surprised. I thought, I think Floyd had the advantage going second, and I think kind of stole the show, which I was really surprised with. I don't think we've ever seen that. As a UFC guy, I've never seen Conor kind of get, out kind of talked at a press conference. So, it's the long tour, it's the first day, but, Floyd kind of stole the show to my surprise.
Now, I was surprised as well. I thought it would be Conor kind of, doing most of the talking, but I guess, like his style, Floyd kind of did a little defensive counter measure on Conor here today.
And again, just like a roast battle, he got to go second. So, yeah. He had a huge advantage there. It's his promotion, so we expect him to have some of those advantages. But as this tour goes on, Toronto tomorrow, New York, and then London, I think you're going to see a better Conor.
No, when you were looking at them upstage, you being a former fighter, did you see anything or notice anything that stuck out in your mind?
To me, I think Conor takes this personal. I think for him it's bigger than just this payday. Everyone keeps talking about the money fight. I think for Floyd it is about the payday, and it's also about getting to 50. But I think for Conor it's more important. I got to be honest. And seeing them up there and the way Conor was reacting to things, I think it's more personal for him.
Looking up there too, I noticed, of course, and we all knew this, that Conor is the bigger guy in there, but he looked pretty big compared to Floyd.
Yeah, I mean, Conor's going to have the size advantage. He's going to have the reach advantage. Last time I think Floyd didn't have the reach advantage was maybe Oscar De La Hoya. I mean, you're talking a long time ago. So, we knew he's going to be the bigger guy. Meaning at 154 pounds actually is in Conor's favor. So, this is why Conor's the A side. Floyd's given up some things here. The size advantage, the reach advantage. So I think Conor can pose some serious problems, man. I really do.
You're one of the few that I've heard that's put out points that you think that Conor can be competitive in this fight. Aside from those two things that you listed, what else do you think gives him an advantage in this fight? And what do you see as being the wild card too in this fight?
The wild card, any of these experts that you listen to, especially these old boxing heads that keep talking about the sweet science. I get the sweet science, but Conor's an artist, so he's bringing his art into the science classroom. So I think for Conor, it's about, his movement, his distance. It's what got him to the dance. You're not going to see him fight like a Maidana where he's going to be this brawling kind of style. When I make the example of Maidana, it's going to be he's more pressure, but he's still going to use his distance and that left hand that's knocked out bigger and to be honest, strikers who are more dynamic than a Floyd Mayweather. Now that's in the UFC, that's in his world. Can he do it in boxing? I like to think so.
You mentioned the whole him coming forward. He has to come forward, you think, to win this fight. Yeah. Conor, in his UFC fights, he's been a really good counter puncher. So, I don't know, I kind of think it and really look at it as maybe that might mix him up because he does really well countering it. And with Floyd, when it's a counter against a counter puncher, it kind of cuts their input in half.
Yeah, but Conor forces them, forces their hand with his movement, with his antics inside the ring. You'll see when he's doing all this stuff, guys, it's tough to deal with. They don't know what's going on. Floyd has never seen that. And we've seen it before. If Floyd doesn't respect you, he comes forward. Ortiz, he did. You see it with Sugar Shane Mosley. Early on, he'll come forward on guys, and if he doesn't get that respect, he keeps bringing that pressure. He can be a nasty dude inside that ring. He's a counter puncher, but when he goes forward, he plays for keeps. And I think Conor, he can bring that out of him.
Do you think it goes a full 12 rounds, in your honest opinion?
Yeah, 100%. I think if you're going to bet on this, if you want to make money, you got to bet on Conor doing it in under 4, like he guaranteed in Los Angeles today.
Yeah, what'd you think of that? I know it took a lot of people by surprise, but
really, I feel like that's the obvious choice for Conor. You got to get, if you're going to get it done, it's that unpredictable movement, and Floyd doesn't see that shot coming. He's the bigger guy with that left hand, and he gets him out there in 4. That's the bet if you're going to make money. That's what the MMA diehard fans and the UFC and the Conor fans are banking on. Once it gets past 4, if Floyd gets his movement down, downloads the data, it could get nasty for Conor. But again, Conor's a bigger guy. He's going to be able to go all 12 rounds. But I think Conor wins the spectacle. He's gonna land some good shots. He might sit Floyd down. We'll see. And that's all you're going to see on replay on ESPN, Fox, all these outlets. You're going to see them talking about Conor.
I think he's already won for the most part. He got the fight. He's getting paid regardless if he wins or loses. he's getting paid, and I think his status comes up. Now, it's a positive. Obviously, he wants to win. He doesn't want to lose. He's a competitor. But I think it's already a win-win for him.
It's not, though, especially if you're a guy of Conor's, stature. You can't go in there. Let's say he goes in there and gets murked, gets knocked out in 30 seconds. That's terrible for our sport, for everyone involved except for boxing. So I don't see that happening. But he again, for Conor, it's personal. It's more than just the money or the magnitude of this fight. It's his legacy. He's fighting for his son, fighting for Ireland. There's a lot of pressure on him in that way. But the pressure's on Floyd. Everyone expects him to go in there and just destroy this guy who has no boxing experience. Easier said than done.
Yeah, like you mentioned, imagine if he does go 12 rounds with them. That's a big punch in the gut to not only Floyd but to boxing and a lot of people out there. You know what surprised me though is Floyd saying that he feels really rusty. He doesn't feel like he used to. That really took me aback, and part of me got me thinking like, well, maybe he's just doing that to build up the hype, build up the show, to make it look like Conor does have a chance. But what'd you make of all that?
I think there's something to it. He is 40. Conor's in his prime. He's 27. So, I think there's something to that. But, even let's say Floyd was a 10 with reaction and speed, Floyd at a 9 is still the best in the world. So, a 40-year-old Floyd has some of the best reaction times in the world still. So, the age is a factor, but not that big of a deal. You got to address it. It's the elephant in the room. He's 40. He looks every bit of 40 up there. Yeah. Shave the goatee, to be honest. He should shave that goatee.
Give him some years there, maybe do some just for men a little bit.
Moisturizer on the face, probably ditch the sweatsuit. I would for sure shave that face.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised he came up in the sweatsuit.
Yeah, I think it's the big brother play. I think, hey, man, this is the biggest opportunity for you. For me, it's another day in the park. I'm coming in my sweats. You dress up and play the game. This is my show. It was a big brother move.
Okay, we're going to do this. I'm Joe Schmo boxing fan, and I'm going to tell you why Floyd is just going to completely obliterate Conor. And
you're the internet.
Yeah,
you're the internet.
I'm the internet. I am the internet.
My barber, my Bartista, everyone. DJs, everyone.
DJs, you're at the club and they're like, hey, come here.
Everyone. Go ahead.
But all right, from what I'm hearing is they're saying, if Canelo couldn't do it, who's bigger than McGregor, and all these guys who spent their whole lives boxing, different styles, they all had different styles. Manny had a different style, McDonough, Mosley, all different styles. And Floyd, given his amateur background, all the styles he saw in the Olympics, getting to what should have been a gold medal, how is it even conceivable a guy in 3 months can beat a guy of the stature of Floyd or even be competitive for at least 1 or 2 rounds?
You ready for this? No, I'm out of here.
There you go.
So, when you talk about these different styles in Canelo, in name anyone who he's fought, Sugar Shane, all these guys. When you say different styles, you're talking about different traditional boxing styles. He's seen those styles. Those aren't different. And also, to your point, Canelo's not bigger in any facet. He's not taller, he doesn't weigh more, he doesn't walk around at heavier weight. Conor's bigger than anyone he's faced.
Canelo's bigger.
He's not, man. I promise you. Yeah. Conor's cutting weight. He's in shape right now. Conor's a big guy. He's taller, actually weighs more in the offseason. So, but to your point, when you keep talking about these different styles, not really. Coming up in his amateurs, in the Olympics, he's seen those styles before. It's nothing new. Conor's movement is something he's never seen. That's the X factor. He's never seen it. He can't bring anyone to mimic that. He has to bank on his expertise and the experience to get him through this weird style and this distance he hasn't seen before. And that's what everyone's banking on Conor for.
Brennan, I'm going to see you in New York.
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Brennan Schaub right here in Los Angeles with me, of course, Marcos Villegas. Thanking you guys for watching us over here at Fight Up TV.